have you join this evening. So I want to welcome you, Odufua, Michael, Jeffrey, Sonia, and everyone that is joining. Please do us a favor. Ensure you share this link to your class group. Now and encourage them to join, because what we are going to learn tonight is going to be so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
All right, please, just a minute. Let's do that. Okay. So our moderator is here. So Olamide, over to you, please. We are about
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. I'm sorry for the delay. My network is something else here. I'm glad to be here. So I'll greet everyone once again. Good evening, happy weekend, and I think we are still in the low season now. So are we still waiting for other students to join in, or I should just start,
I think we can just start. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So I welcome everyone to tonight's session, our Mastering the Basis of Research Writing, a guide for undergraduate students. I'm sure that at least 90 to 80% of us here should, be undergraduate students. And even if you are not undergraduate, it will still be very, very helpful for you if, you have interest in research, as this will serve as guide, torchlight for us. Okay, without wasting time, I would love to introduce our guest speaker for tonight shortly, and also read the citation so that we can start quickly. Time is gone, at least this 15 minutes out of the 1 hour we've scheduled. So to our speaker, our awesome guest speaker, Mr. Undo Titus. Then again, I hope I get that pronunciation. I hope I got it well. We welcome you here tonight, sir, and I'll be reading his citation briefly without wasting time. So, who is Mr. Undo Titus? He is an industrial chemist pursuing his master's degree at the CEFTER, that's CEFTER, and he's also serving as a research assistant with the LWO research team at Benue State University. He has co-authored and published 4 journal articles with several other manuscripts in progress. Wow, that's beautiful. With a strong background in industrial chemistry, his research focuses on renewable energy, bioproducts, and catalysis. His research journey began during an internship at the Tropical Trans Safe Paint at Abuja, where he gained extensive experience in surface coating. That's awesome. Since then, he has worked with several researchers on innovative science projects. He has presented his work at international conferences and has mentored over 100 undergraduates writing. Please, can we mute ourselves? Please, can we mute ourselves? The session is in progress. Thank you. Please, let's kindly mute ourselves. The session is in progress, please. So, Mr. Undo Titus has also presented his work at international conferences, and he has mentored over 100 undergraduates in research writing. Beautiful. He's passionate about faith, sustainability, and community development. He enjoys reading, writing, and building meaningful connections. Wow, that's a whole lot. But in brief about who our guest speaker is tonight. So without wasting time, I would love to give room to Mr. Undo Titus. So I want you to come up and give us that beautiful presentation you have for us, what you want us to learn from your expertise, and we really appreciate if you can start now, sir. Mr. Titus, do you have you, sir?
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, moderator. Thank you so much, Konekt, for bringing me on board today to share my experience in research writing with a community like this. Thank you very much. And
You're welcome,
tonight,
sir.
I'm trusting God that we're going to learn the basis of writing in undergraduate research, which we'll most times call it projects. Please, if you can permit me, I would love to share my screen so we can go straight to the point and start.
Yeah, oh yes, sir, you can, sir.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, sir. He's still trying to display. Okay, yes, we are seeing it. Google is displaying. Okay, we can see it, sir.
All right, are we together?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can.
All right, thank you very much. Just a minute. All right, so we are looking at the topic mastering the basics of research writing, a guide for undergraduate students. And a lot have been said about me. I don't need to talk much. So this is how our presentation today is going to look like. This slide is meant to just guide us through some of the things we're going to be doing in a few moments from now. Of course, the time allocated to us is not enough, but I will try my very best so that I can share the basics you need to pursue this. So first of all, if I may ask, what is research? But because we are not 100 level, most of us are not 100 level students, and everybody here is trying to pursue his research in one or two ways, or maybe some persons have done their research. So I may not want to go into defining research, but for this purpose, we are looking at our projects. Most times our project focuses on writing chapter 1 to chapter 5, as the case may be, and then from there you could go into developing that project into a manuscript. So because you are not just researching, you're not just carrying out a research in the lab or in the field to keep with you, you want to bring out your knowledge to the world. And of course, you are not standing on your own. You are building on others' knowledge. So because of that, you may want to make them feel, the people you are building on their knowledge, make them feel that what they have done is actually recognized. And then another thing I will also say is that you need to be truthful to the research you are doing. whatsoever research you are doing, you just need to be truthful to it. So this night, we're going to be looking at certain things which will help us to go through our research very well. We have observed over time and my work with students that most times they find it difficult working with long documents in Microsoft. And of course, in this part of our work, most of the people, most of the research we do, we type them on Microsoft Word, and they have a hard time working with Microsoft Word. So I'm going to show you briefly how you are going to navigate through Microsoft Word, and you will be able to run your research very, very effectively. I'm going to show you how to add headings to the work and how you are going to add picture captions and tables, list of tables and the rest. I'm going to show you all of these ones in a short while. And I'm sure that is going to help you to be able to create table of contents at the end of your research. And it's going to help you to navigate from chapter 1 to chapter 5 if you are going to edit any work. Of course, last week I was working with somebody and he needed to submit his work in a few minutes. Of course, because the work was well structured, headings were assigned, and because he has not generated his table of content at the moment we were talking. So we just quickly went to one place, gave it one command, and table of content was generated. So these are the things we are going to be learning in Microsoft Word before we go to the internet. And also, I would love to put us through on kind of referencing style that is popularly used in our place, which we call it the APA. And I will also take us through the basics of using Google Scholar, because you are going to get a whole lot of materials from Google Scholar. And then I'll show you, sometimes you need to pay money on some articles for you to be able to download them. And this site hub is going to help you navigate through without paying money, except if that article was not uploaded to SciHub. I'm going to show you in-depth citations. If time permits us, we can look at Mendeley, which is a referencing tool. I'll show you how to use ChatGPT in the right way. Let me put it that way. I've seen students use GTP, they just copy some things, paste to you, and they try to work on it. And in their sense, we are thinking, they have actually done a good work. But if you have actually worked very well with it, you look at it and you know that this work is generated from ChatGPT or any other AI. Of course, in research at the moment, AI has not been so much into writing. Most times when you write using AI, you will be asked to go back and rewrite, especially when you are working in international journals and the rest. But we hope that in the near future, AI will be incorporated in the writing. So now that it is not yet incorporated, I'm going to show you how best you can utilize it to write your research. This is Toolbolt, one of the paraphrasing tools that helps you write well. And I'm going to show you how to use Google Scholar to do your citation in case you don't have a referencing app, or maybe you are not so good at it. And then maybe how to navigate through chapters, chapter 1 to chapter 5, or maybe 6 as the case may be, and depending on the kind of institutions and the prescription of your department. Then maybe we'll take some few questions if you have some time, and that's all. So without wasting time, we are going straight to the first item, which is walking through long documents. Let me know if you are still with me.
Yes, sir. We are still with you, sir.
Okay. So I've selected a document here, which I'm going to show you. For instance, you are working with a document like this. I just collected this information at random so that we can just look at it. Of course, a project has things like certifications. A project has things like dedication. You have acknowledgement. You have table of contents. You have abstracts, introductions, chapter 1, chapter 2, as the case may be. This will vary by university. This will vary by departments. But on the whole, this is a general structure of an undergraduate project. So if you are going to work with this project, let's say this is your project, the first thing you do is, as you start writing your project, you assign them headings. And somebody may ask you, what is a heading? For instance, maybe you are a student of Benue State University, and Benue State University is actually good in faculties and departments, and maybe let's consider Benue State University as a universal set, and then maybe Faculty of Science as a subset of the universal set, and then let's say Department of Chemistry as being under the Faculty of Science. Of course, so when you want to assign headings in the research, you have that picture at the back of your mind. Or let's consider Uniagric. Maybe you are looking at that's federal Justin, right? Yeah, Justin. So maybe you are in veterinary, College of Veterinary Medicine, and then maybe in the Department of let's say biochemistry. So Uniagric or Justin, as the case may be, is the bigger set. Then the College of Veterinary Medicine is the subset, and then the biochemistry department is the set under veterinary medicine. So in adding headings, the first thing you need to do is give your chapters, in fact, all the headings in your preliminary pages, give them heading 1. So how are you going to give your chapters heading 1? Go to home in your Microsoft Word. Are you here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you go to home. First of all, go to home. When you go to home, look at this place here. Can you see? These are headings. These are headings. This is heading 1, heading 2. And if you fly out here, you are going to see a whole lot of headings. So you have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, as the case may be. So now, let's say this is your certification. Just click on your certification, go to home, go to home. When you go to home, come to heading 1 and click on heading 1. So now you will see that certification has actually changed to a blue color. Are you there?
Yes, sir. It did. Yes, sir. We can see it.
Okay, so come back to that place that you have your headings here. So right click on it. When you right click, you will see modify. So click on modify. So when you click on modify, it's going to bring out this dialog box. Come here, select the fonts. Some departments may use 14, but mostly undergraduate research uses font 12. And most times it's Times New Roman. And so font 12 Times New Roman, click on Times New Roman, change this font to 12. When you have done that, change this color to black or automatic, as the case may be, bold it, and then look at this place here. This is centralized. So click on centralize, and then it is going to centralize itself. So click OK. Once you click OK, you see that your citation has come, certification has come to the center because you give it that command. So all the preliminary pages, the headings in the preliminary pages, you give those headings heading 1. Of course, when you go to the next subheading, this is dedication, for at least for this document, you don't need to go and modify again because you have already modified heading 1. So just click on heading 1 and it will be assigned. Now go to the next one. What do you have next? You have acknowledgement. Click on it. Like what I'm trying to say here is that by then you have already written your acknowledgement, or maybe you have written, you just started from chapter 1. By the time you add your other your plenary pages to your work, you can just add all of these things so that it can help you to generate your table of contents easily. And then, so here, give it heading 1 again, give it heading 1. You don't need to modify again because it was modified the first time. This is a table of contents, give it heading 1. You see that everything here is arranging itself because that was the command you gave it at first. Now, come back to view. Somebody would follow me to view. Can you see view?
Yes, sir. We can
Now,
see
if
the
you
view,
come
sir.
to view, you'll see. Okay, If you come to view, you will see navigation pan. This is navigation pan. So if you click on navigation pan, it is going to appear, bring this dialog, this navigation pan by the left, as you can see from here. So you will see those headings you have assigned, they are arranged here. So now, for instance, this was, you want to go to table of content, just click here to take you straight to the table of content. Click on certification, it will take you certification. So you don't need to start scrolling down again, wherever you want to go. Now, imagine that you are up to chapter 5. You can just click here, this navigation pan, chapter 5, and it will take you to chapter 5. If you have a reference, it's the same thing. So let's assign a few, and then I will leave the rest to you to go try it at home. Or if you have your PC with you can be doing as I am doing. So assign this. This is your abstract heading 1. Go down to maybe, yeah, this is chapter 1. This is very interesting. Chapter 1. Click highlight chapter 1 and introduction. At least for this document, it's using chapter 1 and introduction together. So go back to your home and assign heading 1. So as you can see, heading 1 is there. So come back to your navigation pan here. You still see that your chapter 1 and introduction has already appeared here. Can you see that?
Yes, sir,
Hello,
we
are you
can,
here?
sir. Yes, sir, we can see it.
Okay. Now, this is when you have written your chapter 1. You have started your chapter 1 with background of the study where you have 1.1. Now, why I was trying to link the arrangement in the university with the writing of headings is the fact that all your preliminary pages and your chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 5, chapter 4, referencing, appendix, as the case may be, give them all heading 1. So wherever you have 1.1, let's say you have 1.1, that's in chapter 1, 1.1, give it heading 2. When you have 1.1.1, then you see that 1.1 is looking like, okay, heading 1 is looking like the universal set, which is, let's say, Benue State University. 1.1 is looking like Faculty of Science. So that's your heading 2. And then 1.1.1, that's to say that maybe Department of Chemistry. So that's your heading 3. Are you here with me? Now, most universities, they use only 3 headings for undergraduate projects. You don't use heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4. You use just heading 1, 2, 3 for undergraduate projects. So now heading your 1.1, just assign it heading 2. So right click on the heading 2 where you assign and modify the same way you modified on your heading 1. So now this is what you're going to do. Font 12, Times New Roman, bold it, and change this guy now to automatic, or maybe you can give it black as the case may be. But remember, this is your 1.1, which is your heading 2. So you are not going to centralize it again. So you are not going to click here again. You are going to leave it here. So just click OK, and then you see that this has already been assigned. And now that you have assigned it here, if you see from here, you will see that this guy here has identified 1.1, which is background of the study. This is going to help you at the end to generate your table of content. It is going to help you to navigate. By the time you have a long document, let's say you have 1.2, okay, let's say 1.2, just go back 1.2, which is your statement of problem, click on it and go back and assign heading 2. Remember, this is 1.2. You do this to all of these subheadings where you have 1.4 objectives of the study, significance of the study. Let's assign this one, scope of the study. You assign all of them. Because of time, that's why I'm trying to rush, but I hope that by the time you go back, you'll be able to practice this. And if you have challenges, I will request that Konect can maybe link you up with me for mentorship, or as the case may be, or maybe for help. So now let's assume you are done with your chapter 1 and now you are on your chapter 2. Remember, your chapter 2 is your universal set, which is your heading 1. So your chapter 2, you are going to assign it heading 1. So click on heading 1. Can you see that? Your 2.1 is your heading 2 because that's the subset of the universal set. So you're going to assign this guy here heading 2. because it was modified before. You don't need to modify it again. So now you can assign like that to the end. But by the time you have 2.2, okay, let's say here you have 2.2 points, okay, let's say 2.3.1, and let's say this heading here is um, let's say vet connect. Let's just say vet connect, connect, right? Now let's assume that's it. So now you are going to assign, because this one is 2.2, sorry, 2.3.1. So you are going to assign this guy heading 3. So just click here, come back here, and assign this guy heading 3, and then right click and modify it. So by the time you modify it, you change this to automatic. That's the color. Bold this guy, give it font 12, and go back to this guy here and give it Times New Roman, and then click OK. So you have your heading 3. So if you look at your navigation pan from here, you will see that all these headings you have assigned have actually been arranged from here. So if you are in chapter 5, you want to go to chapter 5, just click here. It's going to take you straight to that place. If you want to go back to your certification, click. It's going to take you back to your certification, as you can see. Now, by the time you are done with all of this work, remember, you want to create table of content as well. So by the time you go back to start writing all the subheadings, maybe you have more than 50 subheadings in your work, it's going to take you a whole lot to be able to do that. But from here, you could just come back to where you want to generate your table of content, right click on referencing, come to your head, you'll see referencing here. Somebody saying it with me. Are you here? Are you seeing it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, click on table of content. So when you click on table of content, it will fly out and take you to a dialog box. And in that dialog box, you are going to select the kind of table you want. So what's happening? Back to referencing. Look at table of content by here. So just click on it and look at it. It has brought out down the tables, the options that are here. Can you see this? So now you see this is another form. Depends on your university. But on a general, you can just come to custom table of content so that you can actually get what you want to get. It depends on your university, but most times, all universities uses this I'm going to show you now. Most universities. So you can see that this dialog box has appeared. Look at this guy here. Look at this guy here. Look at this guy here. By the time you assign this table, it's going to bring out these dotted lines. But most people don't like those dotted lines. In fact, almost all the universities students I've worked with in various universities, they don't allow their table of contents comes with dotted lines. So just you have to open here and remove it. And you'll see that it's showing here from templates. There are some table of contents that if you generate from templates, it's going to give you what you want. If in case you generate and you do not see what you want, you can select classic. Yes, classic. And then you click OK. You'll see that a beautiful table of content has been generated. Can you see that?
Yes, sir, we can.
Oh yeah. So that's how you are going to, if you assign your headings in your documents, then this is going to be pretty easy. If you are to assign, if you are to do your table of content. From here, you can just highlight it and then change the font, any other thing you want to modify it. And for instance, maybe after you've submitted your chapter 1, you come back and then your supervisor have done some things, remove some things from the subsections. You come back to this table again, just come back, click here, click on top. You will be able to update this table if in case something from the manuscript or the research or the project was removed. Come back to your referencing, go to your table of content. You will see update table. You will just update it if in case something was removed out of the document. So you just click OK. But here you may want to update the entire table. So you click OK so that the entire table can be updated and the whole thing will come back to you the way you want it. And for instance, maybe you have a picture, that you want to assign a heading. as the case may be. You can just add picture captions, or maybe you want to insert a scientific table. Let me put it through on scientific table. I think that's very important. Since we are scientists, but let me just put it through table, scientific table. This is table. Of course, I know that this time is not going to be very enough, but I'm going to do my best to show you the basis. So this is a scientific table that I'm trying to put here. If you can look at this table, you will see that it has several lines, and maybe you have inserted all the things you want to insert, as the case may be. And just click on it. Click on it. You see here, you see borders, because scientific tables have just 3 lines. It has the first line, the second line, and the last line. It doesn't have all these middle lines and the side lines. So you just click here. You may just want to remove you just give it no border. Once you give it no border, all the borders are gone. Come back and now add bottom border. That's a good one. Add top border. You can see that. And then that's your table is forming. So just right click, push it down to the level, right click again, and then look at your bottom border again and add. You see that a scientific table has been created. I think that's beautiful, right? So these are the ways you are going. These are some of the basic things you need to know in Microsoft Word that will help you to have an outstanding research project that can command an international attention. There are many things to this, but I think these are the basics you need to know for now. So I'm going to take you through the internet, how you are going to navigate through. Of course, what is showing out on our paper here is in our PowerPoint is APA referencing style. If you can see APA referencing style, I'm sure that most universities are using this. If you can look at this, of course, this APA means American Psychological Association. Most universities uses this kind of referencing. So I'm just going to speak about it, and then I will leave the rest to you. Of course, if you are going to do your citation, the works you have cited inside that document, you are going to put them at the end of the document, which you put them as references. So if you look at this guy here, you will see that you are going to have author and author's surname. You have okay, let me use my name. My name is Ondu Titus Eningi, and Titus is my first name. Ondu is my last name. I'm calling Ondu because I know that's how a lot of you will pronounce it. So it's pronounced Ondo. All right, so you see Ondu, which is my last name. That's author's surname. So you put Ondu and then comma, the initials, and then that's Ondu, comma, TT, full stop. Then you put the year in brackets. And then maybe you have produced biodiesel. So you put the title of the article you are using. Maybe it's a biodiesel production from mango kernel. So you are going to write the title of the article, which is biodiesel production from mango kernel. You put full stop, as you can see on these lines. You put full stop, and then after you have put your full stop, you will now put the title of the journal. And then you put the title of the journal, as you can see, and put a comma. So when you have done that, you put the volume number, and then you put the volume. The title of the journal and the volume are going to be utilized, but the issue number is not going to be utilized. Almost all the journals have issue numbers, but it is not all journals that have issue numbers. Some of them have only volume. So volume, in case there is no just put a comma, and then put the page number, as you can see from here. This is your page number. And then if you have your DOI means digital object identifier. It's just like your registration number in school or your matric number in school. So you are just going to put that matric number, that digital identification number here after you have put your page numbering. And this is a standard APA referencing style. So wherever you are arranging your materials, then this is the best way you can arrange. This is what we call a APA referencing style. So I think that's all about APA citation. The next thing I would love to put you through is how you are going to color. Of course, there are lots of platforms you can get articles. You can as well get articles from ResearchGate, Science Direct, as the case may be. But Google Scholar is one of the places that you can get very good articles without stress. Those other platforms are also good, but I have chosen Google Scholar because this is where most students don't know. Most of them, in ResearchGate, if you just Google any article, they can take you to Science Direct or ResearchGate, as the case may be, and you'll be able to get your article. But most times, students don't know how to use Google Scholar and be able to get articles. I remember when I was doing my undergraduate research, I was at the disposal of more than 100 articles. I selected a few that I wanted to use, which are about 60 something, and I did my project very well because I was able to navigate through Google Scholar. So you just go to your Google, your browser, and type Google Scholar. Google Scholar. You can see that's SCHOLAR. That's Scholar. That's the Scholar we're talking about. So you just write Google Scholar and it will this dialogue to you. Let me hear from you. Just give me any research topic you want so that we can get some articles on it. Any research topic? Somebody here? Okay, so let me choose one. Production of biodiesel from palm kernel. Production. You are working on production of biodiesel. Okay, from mango kernel. Let's say mango kernel oil. So can you see that? So if you click here, Google Scholar selects keywords in what I've given him. So it will select keywords about mango or about biodiesel from mango kernel. So you have more than how many articles with all these things we are seeing here? They are articles. Are you here with me?
Yes, sir. We are here, sir.
So
Yes,
you
sir.
see that. Okay, you see that you have articles one like this. You have pages, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, as the case may be, to page 10, and even more. So you see that the first article here is a production and characterization of biodiesel from mango can, guys, that you can see from here, and the year was 2021. So in a good research, you don't need to write use articles that are ancient. You need to use articles that are recent, and most times it is better to use articles from 10 years back. Now we're in 2025, you may want to use articles from now to 2005. If you are going to bring articles that are outside of this scope of 10 years, it is not the best for a standard research, but you are at liberty to use them. Now, when you are going to use them, there's a system we call 60-40. So 60-40 means 60% new articles and 40% old articles. So if you are going to use old articles, then they should not be more than 40% of the work you are using, of the references you are using. So this guy here is 2020. Of course, it is. You can see here, you see a PDF. It means you can download this article for free. You see this guy here, PDF. You see all of them. You see this one, production and characterization of biodiesel from Nigerian mango sea oil. You see, it has selected based on keywords and has got more than 1,000 articles for you. So you are just going to pick at your disposal the ones you want to pick. So let's say, let me just try to open this first guy because we don't have time. Yeah. So you can see this guy here. You see download here, and then you can just download it. So I'm going to use another example. Let's say you want to work on microbial resistance. I know that most of the students here are vet students, chemistry as the case may be, but let's look at antimicrobial and microbial antimicrobial resistance in poultry. Let's just stop there because it's going to just pick keywords and then just click or enter. You'll see a review, the first article, a review of antimicrobial resistance in poultry farming within low source. You see that this article was published in 2020. Can you see that? Another one is antimicrobial resistance in selected bacteria from poultry. Oh yeah, 2008. And then you see antimicrobial bacteria poultry pathogens. This one is a review, as you can see from here, and it's in 2017. Of course, it's a good article that you may want to use. So you will see that you are going to have a whole lot of articles here that you will be able to use for your research. So you are not going to run short of that. Of course, you may want to shorten this to just antimicrobial resistance because you are going to be using part of these articles for your literature review. So you can just click and then you'll see if you just reduce that topic, you are going to have articles based on how you have reduced. You're going to select keywords and find out articles around here. Maybe you are working on let's say eggs, poultry eggs. Let's say poultry eggs, poultry eggs, and so click eggs. So you see that it's going to bring articles that relate to eggs. So poultry eggs, incubation, integrations, poultry eggs and child health, a review on the factors that influence eggs. And then maybe you want to work on bacteria resistance ability of let's say a plant. Let's say plant. You can name that plant a plant that maybe you want to use that plant for something. You see, resistance in plants to bacteria, plants a source of bacterial resistance. So if you name that particular plant, let's say guava leaves, you know, you are going to articles you see for fighting chemicals for bacterial resistance, strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities. You see as a indica that's namely the additive effect on response and disease resistance with Asian sea bass, bass, and all of that. So that's how you are going to get a whole lot of articles on Google Scholar. If you don't want to use Google Scholar, of course, you can just go to your Google and type the article. Let's say the first one we started was biodiesel production, biodiesel production, production from waste cooking oil. Let's look at waste cooking oil. So if you open here, this is outside of Google Scholar. That's when you are using your direct Google. See this guy here. See that this is Science Direct. It's another good opportunity for you to get articles outside of research, outside of Google Scholar. You see this guy here is Nature. Nature is a form of journal as well. You see ACS publications. These guys are also journal articles. And then you have PDF here. This is ResearchGate. Of course, you can get that articles out as well. Biodiesel, you know, all of these guys, they're going to have a whole lot of articles. One guy that was working on some kind of resistance in microbiology in his undergraduate project in microbiology called me one day that he needs articles on water. So I was able to go to Google Scholar and ResearchGate, and I get him a whole lot of articles I sent to him to work for his work. So this is how you are going to get that done. So I think those are the basis of finding articles using Google Scholar and probably ResearchGate. So I'm going to still go back to this place and show you something. I want to show you what we call Sci-Hub. If you remember in our PowerPoint, I'll show you what we call Sci-Hub. I'm going to put you through. You know, Sci-Hub means Science Hub. So Sci-Hub helps you to get articles that you are going to pick them. This site is to upload articles to cut the barrier between science. So, when you publish your article on any journal, but if not 70% of articles that are published online these days are uploaded to SciHub. So if you are going to pay money and you go to SciHub, you are going to get that article for free. So just click SciHub, Sci, you can hyphen something like that and put hub. That's SCSCI/HUB. That's hub. So when you click SciHub, it's going to take you through this guy. And this is it. SciHub, knowledge to everyone. I think I like that statement, knowledge to everyone, of course. And so you just click on it. And then if you click SciHub here, it's going to take you through this place, as you can see from here. This is SciHub. So this is where you are going to get this article to download. But how are you going to get an article to download? Let's go back to the place we're sourcing articles. Now, if you look at these articles here, you see this guy here, you see PDF. You see the second article, you did not see PDF here. So it means this article is probably a paid article. You need to pay money before you get access to this article. So, but there's this kind of articles are uploaded to SciHub. So come to this, you see, I've clicked here and you can see. So come down here and you will see the HTTPS and then you see DOI. Remember in the citation of APA, I spoke about digital object identifier. And digital object identifier, just like the matric number, is unique. And nobody in your university has your matric number, so it's just you. So it's something assigned to articles. You just come to this, copy this link, copy this link, copy the link address, and take it to your SciHub. When you come to SciHub, just paste it there. And if you paste it there, what next? Just enter. So if it is on SciHub, it is going to come out. Download it for free. And of course, I think this article is on SciHub. Of course, you can see it. Oh, that's so beautiful. So it's going to download. You see that the article is going to come out, and you were supposed to pay some money before you get it. Yeah, it's free. So SciHub brings knowledge at your doorstep, so that you don't go money before you get access. Of course, if you are going to download this article, you see, get access to your organization. So if you are not a registered researcher with a research date, of course, you are not going to get this article. And if you are going to get $5, $20, $40, as the case may be, to get this article. So SciHub will help you to get that article for free. I think I can stop from there and I will leave it to you to go check. And this guy here is citation, in-text citation. Remember, I mentioned something about your citation when I was talking about your paper, your APA citation. So I think I should show you something here. Okay, let me assign headings to this reference so that we can be able to navigate through anytime we want. Of course, yes, that's true. So now remember, I told you earlier that you are going to have in your citation, you are going to have these guys, your surname, that's the last author's last name, his initial, as you can see here. You have here bad E, full stop, comma, a theme, comma, H. So now, if you look at this, you see that these authors are arranged, and then you see the last person here. You see Ant, Shaban, S, N, and then you see the year in brackets. If this is an example of what I was showing you on APA citation. Let's look at this guy here. You have Ali, SW, Joshi, M, and this other guy, 2011. And then you see synthesis and characterization of type of sand. nanoparticles with enhanced antimicrobial. And you see that this guy here, the journal article, which is International Journal of Nanoscience, and then you see the volume number, the volume, and then the issue number in the bracket and the page number. So these are some of the examples. So when you're talking about in-text citation, you are looking at the citation, what you cite inside the work, the references. Let me just call it the references inside the work. I think most of you understand it better that way. So in-text citation, let's say our moderator wrote something about my steel, published something about my steel, and I go to that her paper, I copied it to use in my work. And so I come back, I copied it, I came back, edited it, polished it in my own words. So after polishing it in my own words, I have to reference her. Remember from the beginning, I told you that you are building on others' knowledge and you must recognize their efforts. So that was what I was referring to. So you are going to recognize our moderator in the article she published maybe in 2024. So here, this guy here, this milestone has been used as a primary building elements and numerous industries. This guy that said this was this guy here, you can see this this guy you are seeing here. He was the one that said this, him and his co-authors. So because there were many, let's go back to references. Let me just click here in my navigation. They are taking us to reference. So look at them. You have Bart, you have Hefni, you have Sheikh, Shafek, and the rest. So because there are more than two, Remember, this was on introduction. There are more than two. So you are going to have Bart, a tie, just like you are saying, Bart and his group, Bart and co. So a tie, you have Bart, a tie, because a tie is it's not an English word. You are going to utilize it. So you have Bart, because there are more than two. You have Bart, a tie, full stop, comma, then the year in brackets. That's excitation. This is very important because you are using somebody's knowledge. This is not your knowledge. You are using somebody's knowledge. You must recognize him. And then when there are just two persons, you will just say this guy and this guy. That's all. But when there are more than two, then you must put a tie. So if that's what is in-text citation. And let's say you are going to say that according to this person, according to let's look at this guy here. This Gezawa. According to Gezawa, by the time you are using according to, you are trying to say what he has done, you are no more going to put those guys like that. You are going to say according to Gezawa, so and put that year in brackets. So when you are starting a statement, when you are saying this guy say this, then you are going to put his name out of the bracket and the tag, and then put the year in the bracket. But if you are going to just you have just said, and then you are putting that in brackets, that's how you are going to run your in-text citation. I don't know whether you are with me.
Yes, sir, we are with you, sir. We're enjoying this.
Yes, sir, we're with you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. So now, something else we are going to do, let me go back to our PowerPoints. We have discussed in-text citation. I am supposed to teach you use of Mendeley, but Mendeley is an app of its own. It's a referencing app. It's going to help you to arrange your references. But because there is no time, this time is not enough for me to teach you how to use Mendeley. I am going to teach you something else on how to cite so that it will be easier for you to cite. But before that, I am going to take you through a little of ChatGTP. I know that there's nobody on this platform or in this meeting now that doesn't know ChatGTP. So I'm not going to talk plenty about it, but I'm going to just show you something. I know that AI is not recognized in research at the moment as a kind of like in writing. It can only guide you in doing what you want to do easily. So if you may want to write your research, ChatGPT is going to help you to develop that research. But I beg of you, don't copy notes from ChatGPT and paste in your paper. It's going to give you a kind of headache by the time you want to publish that paper. So all you need to do is the paper. Now, for instance, let's say you want to write, you can just tell him, write a project on the microbial resistance in poultry farm. Look at this prompt I've given ChatGPT. Look at what it's going to generate. It's going to generate this article for me, this project for me. Look at it. That generated. You see introduction, you see objectives of the study, literature review, and courses, and you see mitigations and all of those ones. So it depends on what you are going to give it. Now, remember, I just told it to write a project and it has written it this way. So you see conclusion, you see, let's go through. You see introduction, objectives, literature review, courses of antimicrobial. But you see that this is not how undergraduate project is structured. This could be just any kind of project. So you may want to tell it write an undergraduate project, or you may want to tell it, let's say, let me just edit what we wrote earlier. I'll just say write a project chapter 1 to chapter 5. You know, it depends on how you prompt it. So let's say I want to prompt it this way so that it will give me chapter 1 to chapter 3. Let's say you are just starting your project with chapter 1 to chapter 3. Maybe your lecturer says you should submit chapter 1 to chapter 3. So write a project, let's say from chapter 1 to chapter 3 on the antimicrobial resistance in poultry farm. So let's say you say that to ChatGPT, and this is how it's going to structure this project. Can you see that? You see your chapter 1, which is introduction. You see the background of the study. You see statement of problem. You see objectives of the study, research questions, significance of the study, scope of the study, and of course, this is how most universities structure their chapter 1. Of course, there are some research that you require some kind of hypothesis, and then if hypotheses are missing here, you can tell it to help you to sort out, to include those kind of hypotheses. And look at your chapter 2, it has actually broke down that topic into concept of antimicrobial, use of antimicrobial in poultry farm, mechanisms of resistance, and it has structured it well. What you are now going to do is go back to this thing now and look at this structure. Let it guide you using articles from other researchers. Don't come and copy this and go and paste your work. Of course, some of us that have been very used to AI, I can decide to say, restructure this background of study and tell it the way I want it to be. I can give it, say you should write it in paragraphs as the case may be, but that's going to give you more harm. So it's better you should look at what this guy is saying. Look at antimicrobial growing global, growing global health concern, of course. So you may just want to look at this first line, copy it, take it to Google Scholar that I showed you. You may just want to copy it. Just copy the first line, take it to Google Scholar that I showed you, so that you can see, you have access to articles that are talking about this kind of a thing. Just type Google Scholar. Somebody with me? Google Scholar.
Yes, I will, sir.
All right. Now, if you go to Google Scholar now, look at this guy here. Oh my God, this is sweet, man. Just paste it here. So when you just paste it there, you'll see that it's going to bring articles that are spoken about antimicrobial resistance. So look at this guy here. Just open this guy here. Remember, this idea came from ChatGPT. Can you see now? Remember, this idea came from ChatGPT. Can you see? That structure. This is a paper about antimicrobial. Go look at the introduction of this paper, and you'll be able to pick out 1 or 2 things from there to start developing your introduction. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's one of the ways ChatGPT is going to help you to be able to navigate. Now look at your statement of problem. Of course, it has generated a good statement of problem, which says that because of the increasing resistance of bacteria to commonly used antibiotics in poultry farm, this statement is actually great.
700.
Restructure
450, 500.
restructure this statement. Restructure this statement in your own words. Don't use this. Please remember, if you copy this thing and paste somewhere, it's going to tell you how many percent of this work was generated with ChatGPT. Even if you take it to Qboat, it's going to show you that this work was generated by AI. So of course, if somebody has a
I am not
standard,
going to church. My church is in the house of God.
oh my God,
Church, young clap, young
get that person to mute.
Please kindly mute yourself,
Um,
please. The session is in progress, please. Please, let's mute ourselves.
All right. Thank you very much for that. So if you copy this guy now and take it to Qboat, it's going to tell you that this text was generated by ChatGPT or by AI. So, but look at the statement of problem. This statement of problem, it's actually fitting for this kind of research. So you just look at it and write it. Let it give you an idea and develop it in your own words. Like make it very much in your own words. And then your lecturer will look at it and will be like, wow, this guy, he has some things in his brain and it's giving him an impression that, yes, you are actually up to the task, and then it's going to ease your work. And look at the objectives of this work. You are going to determine the prevalence of antimicrobial resistance in poultry farm. This is on a general basis. When you have a particular topic and you give it that particular topic, it's going to generate it in this way, and it will guide you, but make sure you don't copy it. Now look at this. Determine and to identify common bacteria strains exhibiting resistance. Of course, in the research, you may want to look at the kind of bacteria, identify those kind of bacteria in the kind of farms you are going to examine such resistance. So it's going to help you. You can now, this kind of objectives, just structure them in your own language. This is how ChatGPT is going to help you. There's a whole lot to it. And look at the way they are structuring your chapter 2. You may want to copy this concept of antimicrobial resistance and paste and tell it that it should discuss this in subheadings. Now let's try it. That's your first part of your chapter 2, that ChatGPT. Now just say restructure this in subheadings. Just paste it. It's going to restructure that your concept in subheadings. Is somebody with me?
Yes, sir, we are seeing that.
Okay, so it's going to restructure that in subheadings. Okay, so you see that it has actually restructured everything in subheadings. Can you see? So you'll be able to pick out each heading. If you want it to discuss the concept of antimicrobial resistance in subheadings, it can still rediscuss it so that you have 2.1.1, something like that. So that's how you're going to navigate using ChatGPT, and then it is going to be easier for you, right? I think another thing I would still love to talk about is that's for AI, which is ChatGPT, is what we call Qboats. Qboats. Now, what's Qboat? Qboat is a site that helps you to be able to paraphrase your work. For instance, look at this article here. Let me look at this. Look at this article here. You are using this article, and you have to write everything this guy has said in your own words, so that by the time you take that work for publication, they are not going to say you stole from somebody. That's when plagiarism comes in. So maybe look at this guy. Cassava is one of the most important staple food in Africa. So you look at this guy here. So now, how are you going to? You want to write the same thing this guy said, but you have to restructure all of these things. Do you have all the time to sit down and start restructuring all of this? So you are going to use Paraphraser, which will help you to be able to do that. So just copy this guy here. Just copy this guy here. copy, you know, this is copy. As you can see, how many you see? Okay, have I copied? Okay, I think I've copied. Copy. Now look at this article here. Look at this, the title. This is the title of the journal. By the time you go to write this article, you're going to reference this guy, Titi Will, S.A. Okopi, M.O. Honor, of course, my very service there, and Leke. So you copy what that guy did. So if you are going to paste this in your work, you know, it's going to show, and you want to publish this work, they will tell you that this work was plagiarized. So you just copy it, take it to what we call QBoat browser, type QBoat. Some people call it QBoat. And so this is QBoat, QBoat. Some persons may call it QBoat. So it's just a type it, but as the spelling is QUILLBOT. And then if you just type that, it's going to come out this way. This is QBoat for you. So you see paraphraser, you see plagiarism checker, you see translator. You want to translate that to, let's say, China. For those of you that are working online, you know, I know some persons might be used to this. You know, AI detector is here, grammar checker is here. So you want to paraphrase what that guy said. Now, click on paraphraser. So it's going to open here. Oh yeah, I know we're running short of time, but I just have to show you this. It's going to help you a lot. It will save your time in writing. So just paste it here, paste it. So look at this thing that this guy has said. Of course, paraphraser works only with 125 words at a time. So look at this guy and then click paraphrase. When you click paraphrase, it's going to generate this text in another language. You know, instead of giving you time to go start writing these things in your own word. You know, one of the most significant stable food is in so as the case may be. So you see that what this guy said here, this QBoat has rearranged everything in its own language, and you know that's how it's going to help you to paraphrase. Now, if you may want to summarize that, maybe you just copy the whole of his introduction and you just want a few points out of it. Come here, click on summarizer, click here, you know, it's going to open and you paste. I know I'm rushing, but by the time you go and sit down, you'll be able to sketch through. Of course, if you are not able to do well, maybe your organization can link you up and I will put it through again. So look at this 117 words. This thing you have generated here has 117 words. Just click summarizer and it's going to summarize it in less than, you know, that summarize it into 43 words. And you see, the whole of the 117 words have been summarized into just how many words? Just 43 words. So that's how that is going to help you to be able to minimize time, like maximize your time. If you want it to be higher than that, you can just open it here, and if you re-summarize, it's going to bring more words to you. That's how QBoats work. You paraphrase, summarize. You can even detect AI for you. So if you copy work, of course, I'm serving as a research assistant, and most times my students, which I think some of them may be here, sometimes they send work to me. I just look at it. I don't even need to go and test it. I know that this work was generated by ChatGPT or any other AI, as the case may be. So look at the work we have generated from AI. The work we generated from AI, from that ChatGPT, just paste it here. You know, just paste it and check. You know, it's going to detect that that work was generated by AI. Let me just show you. Can you see 100% of this work is likely AI? You know, that's what we generated from ChatGPT. So when you give your work out, the person that is going to work on it for publication already, he has a stronger app that is going to check that outside of QBoats. But you see, ordinary QBoat has shown you that that text you generated was 100% AI. So that's why you have to avoid AI in pasting in your work as much as you can. So let's move ahead. Time is ticking. Because I was supposed to show you how to use Mendeley and there's no time, I'm going to show you a short way that you'll be able to reference using Google Scholar. Of course, let's look at an example of an article from our Play Store. Okay, not Play Store. Let's look at this article. Look at this article here. This is synthesis and quality evaluation of fufu from cassava via various fermentation aids. This article was published by these authors here, Will, Okopi, Ona, Ondu, and Leke, in an international journal of research publications and review, as you can see from here. So if you are going to reference this journal, then you are first of all, you're going to copy these guys, copy their names, copy them, come back to your Microsoft Word. You know, it's going to be so taxing doing all of these things. Come back here, paste them here, and then start editing them. Look at the way it is arranged. This guy is arranged TT whale. So you have to cut this TT whale, cut the T, put it this side, because in referencing, remember it's surname first before initials. We are going to paste this guy and then arrange all of these authors and put the year of publication. Put the year of publication. Or what is the year of their publication? I think this should be 2024. Okay, this was last year, 2024. So you put the year of publication in brackets and then copy the title of the article and paste. You know, put the year in brackets, 2020. You know, after you have arranged all the authors, put full stop, put the title of the article, come back again to this article again, look at the name of the journal. You know, it's just a whole lot trying to reference this. That's why you need a referencing tool like Mendeley. There are a whole lot of them. There's another one we call Reflux, but Mendeley is a common one. And remember, in our APA description, you're supposed to utilize this one. So you highlight and click Control I, and you can utilize volume 5, issue 3, and the page numbers here. You still have to copy this guy again, come back and paste. That's how taxing is going to be. So by the time you finish, by the time you are able to finish this research, man, it's not going to be easy for you. This is how referencing is supposed to look like, you know, and then start removing these ones, all this issue, these names, remove this one out, and remove volume out, remove the Italian issue number, you know, all of these ones. So it's going to be taxing. So the easiest way is to use referencing to like Mendeley. But another way, which I want to show you to ease your work as a beginner, is just copy the title of this article. Just copy it. You may want to copy it with the author, the authors. You might not want to copy all the authors. You can copy 2 or 3 of them. Just copy it and take it to Google Scholar. That is how Google Scholar is very, very easy to work with. And it's going to help your work a lot if you master it. You see, okay, remember we are using Google Scholar here. So just paste it there. Just paste it there and click search. So you going to bring only that article among the many articles. Oh wow. So you see, that text was too long, so it was unable to identify. So you have to reduce this guy, remember? Reduce part of the text. Okay. No. Sorry. Reduce part of the text and leave some authors with them. Click OK. What's happening? Oh wow, okay. I know why this is not showing. This particular article was not uploaded to Google Scholar. It's quite strange. They are still working on it. It's a new article. It has not been uploaded. And so this one you are going to cite it manually. That's going to give you a whole lot of work. I think I'll make sure this article is uploaded before the end of this month. Yes, I'll do my best to upload it. So let's look at this other article. This one is extraction and transesterification of oil from palm kernel catalyzed by 10% H2SO4 and 10% sodium hydroxide modified clay minerals, published by Leke, Oga, Whale, Okopi, Ondu, and Okena. So this was in 2023, right? Yes. So just copy this guy and the headings and take it to your Google Scholar. Sorry for the last article, it was not uploaded. So just click Google Scholar, paste it, search, like that. Got it. That's gone. So that article has come here. So come here, come down here. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Look at it. You see cite, you see save. You want to save offline? You can save it there. You want to cite, you see this work has been cited by one person, and the article is related to other versions and all of those ones. So just your own is click on cite. So when you click on cite, look at it. The article has arranged itself. You see, this is a kind of referencing style, MFA, and this is how it arranged its references. This is Chicago, this is APA, this is Harvard, this is Vancouver. But most times it's APA that our universities here are using. Just copy this one, go back and paste your referencing section in your document. You know, remember this, your references was here, just come back and paste it here. And then if you need to touch it small, maybe you need to arrange certain things small, you can just arrange. But look at the full lot that you're supposed to be going through, doing one after the other. You have just given it a command and it has arranged the reference for you. Let's look at another article. I think this should be the last one we'll use as an example on referencing using this platform. Okay. Okay, look at this guy now. This is assessment of aflatoxins and heavy metals level in soybeans, granule samples obtained from markets in Makadi Metropolis, and it was published by Onoja Blessing, NN, Olua, somebody, Ajeba, Ondo Titles, and Leke. So you just copy this guy here, you know, copy the title and the authors. You don't necessarily need to copy all the authors. Just come back to your Google Scholar, paste it here, you know, just place it and search. Once you search, you are going to see a citation. This is cite related articles. Just click. You know, he has arranged this one too. Just copy it and take it there to your references. You know, paste it here, you paste it here. And then you just copy the first author here because there are many. Copy the first author, Honor Eta 2023, right? Copy it, Honor. Of course, there are sometimes it might not bring everything. So if, like this one now, it has not brought the other ones. Just look at it and then you'll be able to fix those ones that are not here. But most times it will be able to generate all. So you copy the first author, go to your in-text citation, wherever you want to reference that guy, and then put it here. Let's say put it here, put your ETA, comma, 2023 full stop, of course. Then you now italize your ETA, right? That's how beautiful it's going to look. If you follow these steps, you will be able to write your research without problem. So that's how you use Google Scholar to do citation. One last thing on Google Scholar before we round up. One last thing is, see this article here. This is on aflatoxins and heavy metals. So look at related articles here. Just click related articles and you are going to see a whole lot of articles that relate to this. You know, that's the power of Google Scholar for you. Yeah, so I think I've done quite some good work on that. And the last thing we will talk about is how to navigate through chapters. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 5. Of course, some persons may want to look at Chapter 6, but for here, we have just selected 5 chapters because most universities use 5 chapters. And this is the last thing we're talking about, and then we're up for this session. So how do you navigate through chapters? Your Chapter 1 basically is your introduction, which carries things like statement of problem, significance of the study, scope of the study, sometimes limitations as the case may be. And you also have things like aim and objectives. Some universities and departments combine aims and objectives together. Some of them just say aims. Some of them, maybe aims can be 1.3, and objectives can be 1.3 or 1.4 as the case may be. Some of them will just say aims and objectives, and all of them will be the same. And that's for chapter 1. And then you go to your chapter 2, your literature review. The literature review is what others have done. Remember from the beginning, we said you are not doing on your own. You are using somebody's knowledge. So you may want to look at details about your topic. Maybe you're looking about the resistance in antimicrobial resistance in poultry farms. So you are going to look at, tell us more about antimicrobial resistance. Tell us how it affects mechanism of reactions, how they react, how you are going to prevent such, how they are going to be controlled, some of the effects they cause. All of these things you review them on sections. It can be 2.1. We talk about antimicrobial. 2.2, some of the causes, the mechanism of actions and all of those ones. And then you may want, in fact, it is very, very important to tell us about previous work as to the topic you are working on. So if you are looking at antimicrobial, where you are going to look at maybe this guy on antimicrobial resistance in this kind of farm, and this guy in Boko, this guy in Abuja, this guy in Ethiopia, this guy in Uganda, this guy in Glasgow, in Texas, and maybe Addis Ababa, as the case may be. You bring all of these guys together, arrange their work, look at it, arrange the work the way the work is, and then tell us how those guys use, and then you'll be able to spare us some of the things they were not able to do and how you are going to come in with your work. That's what is literature review. That's what is literature review. And then go to your chapter 3, which is most times, most universities, your methodology. So your methodology tells you what you are going to do exactly. And it is reported in past tense. Of course, some universities, some lecturers may want to say that you should write it in a proposed way in the future tense, and like maybe saying samples will be collected from the poultry farms and taken to the College of Veterinary Medicine, or maybe biochemistry laboratory, or as the case may be. Some persons may want to say it that way, or some persons may want you to just not waste your time. Just say samples were collected from. Of course, if you write in the future tense, after writing the whole project, you come back and bring it back to past tense. So they don't want to stress you, and then they just want to say research sample was collected, taken to the laboratory, sample pretreatment, analysis, and all of those ones. One thing I would love to say is that make sure you cite the person that you are using his work. His work is guiding you. Make sure you cite. You want to look at plenty works, the method they use, the ones that are available at your own disposal, and how effective the works they use was. If you want to adapt it, if you want to do some modification, you can say the work that was published by Leakey with so year and was adapted with some few modifications, something like that. That's what is chapter 3. And your chapter 4, sorry, some universities, they say chapter 4 is result and discussion. So universities say chapter 4 is just result, and chapter 5 is discussion. So it depends on your own university. And the university I graduated from, chapter 4 is result and discussion. So you present your results and then you discuss them. So as you are discussing your results, look at what other people have done. This guy reported this. Maybe he has some kind of microbial load, this kind of microbial load, and all of those ones. And then this guy has this guy has this. Your own is this. What could be responsible for the differences? Maybe it could be location, the kind of feeds, and the rest. Kind of feeds they use, maybe the kind of chemicals, the kind of drugs, and the rest. Those kind of things. So you try to relate your work with other people's work. That's it. That's what you're supposed to do. And then while your work is stepping ahead. Always have that at the back of your mind. You know, you want to bring out something new, or maybe you want to prove a point. Most times, you are looking at bringing something new, but you are building on others' knowledge. So you just want to tell them that this is what they have done, and others have done. This guy has done this. This guy has done this. This is what you have done, and the difference could be as a result of this and this and this. That's all about chapter 4. Or maybe your discussion, which may be in chapter 5, depending on your university. But result and discussion, that is it. And then your chapter 5, most universities, which is conclusion. If your own is conclusion, maybe you are doing chapter 6, fine. You are going to do conclusion, fine. You're going to do that. And then your conclusion is just the whole of, normal conclusion. It's conclusion. Just tell us about the work, a little about the work and the results you have, how novel it can be. And then you write your abstracts. In writing abstracts, 2 points, basic points that you need to consider is you introduce a bit, tell us the methodology, you adopted in your research, and the results you have, the gap that is lacking, or the gap there's a gap that is still there, somebody may want to come in, and that's your abstract. Your abstract is always the first thing somebody wants to look at. So it is your meeting point. Anybody that's looking at your abstract wants to know the whole of your work in just the abstract. So you present your results in the abstract, present your methodology in the abstract, introduce in the abstract, and then tell us the gap that is there in the abstract. So that's for the abstract. And of course, your references, we have discussed that, and your appendix, some of the things you don't want to put in your chapter, in your results, or maybe some of the things you did in your, maybe some of the samples, maybe you did some kind of analysis, like maybe 4-plate test, and you snap some things. You just want to discuss them in your discussion or in your results, or you want to put them in your appendix. So you put them at the back, and that's what is appendix. So I think that's how you're going to navigate through your chapters. And this has taken us to the end of our discussion. And I think I will give this room now for questions and answers, if there are any. And maybe when you start to work, if you have challenges, you may want mentorship, and you discuss with your organization, they may want to drop my email or my phone number, as the case may be, so that they can link you up with me. And if you need mentorship, you can discuss that. If you just need some help, you can still look at it. But I'm open to help you do your research better. Of course, this is what I have for you today. Because of time, I've just tried to summarize everything. By the time you start, you are going to understand more. One thing very important is start in time and don't rush. Be very sincere. Don't copy and paste. When you copy, make sure you paraphrase or you edit. Paraphrase are sometimes it can give you kind of words that are not relating to your field. You sit down, look at them, and then make some adjustments to fit your field. Make sure you reference those guys. Make sure you reference those guys. It's very, very important. You are just building on their knowledge. So I think this is where I would draw my curtains. Thank you very much.